Salted duck egg is one of those traditional foods that defies modern expectations. It's unapologetically bold in flavor, in texture, in presence. From a first bite, you're met with a wave of saltiness so intense it can stop you mid-chew, followed by a dense, almost crumbly yolk that oozes oil when warm. The egg white is firm, glassy, and sharply brined, while the yolk is often deep orange or even golden, rich in fat and unmistakably savory. This isn't breakfast comfort food. It's deliberate. It's preserved, potent, and proud of its heritage. And for those unaccustomed to its particular character, it can be a challenge. What makes the salted duck egg truly remarkable is that its power lies in simplicity. This is not a food with additives or gimmicks. It's just duck eggs, soaked in a salt brine for weeks, sometimes longer. But what emerges from that time is something transformed. The salt doesn't just season the egg, it rewrites its structure, firming the white, curing the yolk, intensifying every molecule of flavor. And that flavor isn't mild. It's aggressive, sometimes too much for first-time tasters, especially those used to less concentrated seasonings. The saltiness clings to the palate, the richness of the yolk lingers, and there's a kind of umami weight to the whole experience that demands a pause. Yet inside this intensity lies real nutritional value. Salted duck eggs are high in protein, just like their fresh counterparts, but what makes them stand out is their mineral content, particularly sodium, of course, but also phosphorus, selenium, and iron. The yolk is fatty, yes, but it's also deeply nourishing, supplying calories and essential fats that were once especially valuable in laboring communities or among those who couldn't always afford fresh meat. These eggs were a reliable source of energy and flavor, often paired with plain rice or porridge, bland foundations that allowed the egg's strength to shine without overwhelming the senses. But the salt content is not something to brush aside. It's high, sometimes very high, and not suited for people with hypertension, kidney concerns, or those on low-sodium diets. Eating salted duck eggs frequently without balancing your overall salt intake can push your body into dangerous territory. That's the trade-off: intense flavor and preservation in exchange for a health risk if consumed without awareness. These eggs were made for moderation, not for indulgence. They were born from a time when preserving food was essential, and the salt was both a necessity and a protector. Today, that same salt becomes something to monitor closely. Texturally, the yolk can be divisive. When cooked or steamed, it turns dense and oily, crumbling like dried cheese and coating the mouth with richness. Some people adore it. That deep, almost buttery texture is treasured in mooncakes and pastries across Asia, even used in sauces or minced into rice. But others find it cloying or chalky, a sensory overload that feels heavy rather than satisfying. There's no in-between. You either lean into it or back away. But for those who do embrace it, the salted duck egg becomes more than a food. It becomes a piece of memory, of home, of tradition passed down through kitchens and generations. It speaks of resourcefulness, of preserving nourishment through time, of creating depth from simple means. In many cultures, offering a salted duck egg is an act of hospitality, a gesture of care. It's not meant to impress with refinement. It offers something deeper, something real. And there's something powerful about that. In a world where so much food is engineered to please, to comfort, to make you want more, salted duck egg goes the other way. It demands respect. It tests your tolerance. It doesn't sweet-talk your palate. Instead, it roots you in the past, in the tastes of laborers, farmers, elders, and reminds you that food wasn't always about pleasure. Sometimes it was about survival. Sometimes it was about making the most of what you had. The challenge with salted duck egg isn't just the salt. It's everything wrapped into it: the weight, the history, the demand for balance. It forces you to think before eating, to pair it carefully, to slow down and truly taste. It's not a food you forget. It stays with you in a way that only something bold and unapologetic can. And once you've made peace with it, once your palate adjusts and you understand its rhythm, it becomes a quiet kind of comfort. Not the soft kind, but the strong, enduring kind that's rooted in resilience.